Back to Dubster Live. Seriously, look at something's English dub, let you know how it is, and Nomi, you're back, which means it must be something really good today.
Yeah, but don't worry. It's not another Kings game.
How unfortunate.
Yeah, I meant more in that this won't be an almost 2-hour video.
Well, they can see the time bar if they're watching the VOD or the YouTube. Yeah. So, you can tell by the title,
What?
Dracula, Sovereign of the Damned. Um, this movie is infamous in anime circles, if you've heard of it, especially English dubbing circles. And it's what I've always wanted to see in full, because the only thing I knew about was the memes. And it is gloriously
Let me tell you
stupid.
something.
What's up, Nomi?
No, oh no, I was just saying when you said you only knew of it of the memes, I'm like, and it definitely has those.
Yeah, so let's get right into this. Dracula, Sovereign of the Damned is a film based on the Marvel comic, yes, that Marvel, the one people laugh at today, that was called Tomb of Dracula. That began in 1972 and ran for 70 issues. Well, apparently in the late 70s, Toei had licensed the CBS Spider-Man series in Japan, which basically opened the door for them to get rights to several other properties from Marvel. This would include adapting some of their things into animated properties. And they picked Tomb of Dracula. So, yeah. Fun fact, real quick, by the way. The reason Marvel actually decided to go with Dracula is for this comic because apparently they already had their own vampire-esque character that they came up with that was an OG named Morbius. Yeah. Just think about that for a minute. But back on point, the film would air on Japanese TV in August of 1980, and it was brought over to the US in 1983 by Harmony Gold, which I don't think we've ever covered a dub by them before now. The people behind
I
Robotech and renaming Bulma and Talina in the first dub of Dragon Ball.
wait, what?
Yeah, don't ask. They changed everyone's names. That's what they did.
I have heard of Robotech now.
I mean, I would hope so. It's one of the most influential anime of the 80s. Or
I
Macross is
don't
probably what
know.
you'd know about it. That's
Yeah.
Goku's era. He grew up with that shit. So, yeah. Point is, though, is that Toei turned Tomb of Dracula into a 70-issue comic and adapted all of it into a 90-minute film. I think I need to apologize to Housing Complex C for being too short, because holy shit, this is a mess.
No, they definitely did a good job pacing everything. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right. You know the film is going to get you're in for a treat when you start up a film and it opens with not just 80s as fuck narration. That sounds like it came straight from a
It
Castlevania game.
it very much was 80s, early 90s narration.
Yeah, but I just love it. It goes on like good versus evil, light versus darkness. It really did sound like a Castlevania
And did
intro.
you tell me that there was no narration
Yep,
in the
that the narration
Japanese
is
version?
narration's dub only. Harmony Gold had a habit of inserting stuff into dubs that
But it made it so good.
it did make it hilarious, especially when you forget the narrator exists because he doesn't talk for like 20 minutes. But yeah, it goes from the narration to a group of people in Boston. Yes, really. No, that's not a localization thing. That's accurate. Showing up late to a satanic ritual claiming they got caught in a traffic jam.
What? They're not devoted enough Satanists
Satanists.
to learn.
Like, what?
No, Satanist, definitely. That's how you say it.
Yeah, so they have to build the altar on the spot to do their Satan summoning
Yes,
ritual.
and it definitely
And
doesn't. It definitely doesn't. Isn't like a 10-minute clip of just nails
um,
being hammered.
this movie is simultaneously bloated and has scenes that drag on pointlessly at the same time. I don't even know what to call that. But yeah, so getting to the plot setup real quick. Basically, they think they're summoning Satan to offer him his bride, Dolores. That's her name in the anime. I know in the comics it's different, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And Dracula shows up instead. They think Dracula is Satan and give Dolores to him, and then he basically flies off. I guess these Satanists really don't know thing one about Satan, but fuck it. This is so stupid. But yeah. Long story short, Dracula can't bring himself to turn her because his dumbass ends up falling in love with her for realsies. And yeah, he starts feeding on other people instead. Prompting vampire hunters, who don't mean dick in this film until the last 10 minutes, no, I'm not joking, to set out to start hunting him. All the meanwhile, Dracula has this rivalry with Satan in the background because Satan's like, ugh, Dracula betrayed me. How could he? He cucked me from my bride. That's literally the plot point. Dracula cucked him.
And Dracula's pissy because he's like, I was dead and you revived me. Fuck you.
Yeah. Because Dracula, he was a human, you know, the whole Vlad the Impaler thing. And then he got brought back by Satan as a vampire, that's an interesting twist. Satan turning Dracula into a vampire.
You did really good killing all those people. You did really good. I like you.
Yeah, so... But then it goes from there, because Dracula, he ends up having a son with Dolores, and the baby's name is Janus. They will not let you forget that, trust me. They say it like 8 million times, but Janus ends up getting shot by one of the Satanists, and Dracula cries and runs off flying, screaming into the clouds after rampaging, killing all the Satanists. And trust me, you might sound like I'm rambling, but I'm going to get to it, okay? So Dolores thinks of seppuku because her husband is gone and because he's emo now and her baby is dead. But before that could happen, God shows up, reviving Janus as a grown-up now with angelic powers. And what the fuck is even happening? Yes, this is all in the same movie. As Janus now has the purpose of killing his own father, because his father is the embodiment of evil, and Janus is now the embodiment of good. And also, yes, Janus did die and get resurrected, and he's half vampire, so I think we literally have hit Vampire Jesus.
Remember the part where he was born in winter?
Yeah. Yeah, and Dracula revealed to Dolores his whole truth on Christmas Eve, calling it a miracle or some shit.
Yes.
And God, I could keep going, but you all get the point. So Dracula and his son are at odds with each other, except there's also Satan in the background who knew this whole time that he planned on this or something, because Eisen from Bleach, levels of planning, I can't. It's too much. Something, Dracula and Dolores were about to get punished by Satan after this, but Dolores' angelic powers, because she was someone with heavenly abilities, apparently this whole time, suddenly awakened, saving her and Dracula from Satan. Then...
Except for the part where Satan took away Drax's vampire.
Drax's vampirism is now cured. He's a human now, and he was saying for the first half of the movie, I am cursed, I hate this, I got my revenge on Satan and cucked him because I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. Except for the last 30 minutes of the film, where now he wants to be returned into a vampire, for no reason. We haven't even gotten to the dubcast yet. My brain... And then yeah, the Janus Syndicate decides to show mercy, saying you're not a vampire anymore, so I can't punish you. I mean, he's still killed like people for 500 years, man. I don't think him just turning human is gonna erase that.
No, shut up.
And then Dracula goes back to Transylvania to try turning back into a vampire. He defends some kids from vampire bats that sound like angry cats meowing into the air. I don't even know what's happening anymore. And then vampire zombies that sound like turkeys gobbling. I swear I'm not joking. You can ask Nomi. He was there.
No. He's not lied about anything in this video.
Before Dracula gets his vampire powers back after defeating the new vampire king of Transylvania, some dude named Tickle Me Tomo or some shit. Okay, I made up those first two words. It was just Tomo, but and then yeah, fuck it. We're calling him Tickle Me Tomo for the rest of this video. And then Dracula, the vampire hunters show up because there's only 5 minutes left, and one of them is a wheelchair-bound dude named Quincy, except in this movie they changed his name to Hans for some fucking reason. He shanks Dracula with silver and blows him up with a wheelchair bomb. And that's how it ends. Oh my god, I don't even know.
No.
Oh, you're right. Janus, you're right. The last plot thread with Janus, who says his purpose is complete. So he turns back into a baby, giving Dolores purpose, because now she could raise the baby. Even though Janus didn't do anything, why is he acting like his purpose was met? What the fuck? I can't. And you want to know the best part? I cut out a bunch of stuff too. There was a bunch of montages of the vampire hunter jackasses doing nothing, like plowing around Boston for a good 5-minute montage doing nothing.
Let's go to the ship. Now let's go to this graveyard. We didn't find shit. Now let's have Hans exposit us for 5 minutes straight and no one else talk.
Oh my god, the exposition is unreal. There is so much in this film because every character has a backstory that's exposited to you, including Hans' pet dog Elijah, who he uses to sniff out evil. Because you see, Elijah was a dog that grew up at a church, but he was thrown out of the church for drinking the holy water. But because he drank the holy water, he can now sniff out evil. Except I'm starting to wonder about that because they spend a year looking for Dracula, but they can't find him. And Hans' thing is, well, he did one thing. He told us where Dracula isn't.
No, you... Okay, I'm going to remind you because this is the best bit of that scene. They end up with here's where Dracula might still be. And the little area they drew out is in the shape of a fucking bat.
It's so stupid!
I have to make sure they know that because...
Well, whatever. The plot synopsis is done. You might ask, did you just spoil the whole... No, if you want to go. It's free on YouTube. I promise you, it is hilarious.
No.
Some insane bastard even took the DVD Japanese exclusive remaster and synced it up with the English dub. It is glorious.
The only thing that sucks there is that one will have ads, which we couldn't do because of...
I mean, you could do it if you have something, but I was too lazy. I was just lazy that day. So we watched the stupid VHS version that was also uploaded to YouTube.
That part, I mean, it was the authentic experience, but no, definitely grab a couple friends, put that on, just it'll be an entertaining 90 minutes.
It is glorious. We haven't even gotten to the dub yet, but first, animation. Nomi, I heard it's pretty great.
It is the animation of all time. It is definitely I can definitely tell that it's 80s.
I heard people say that the models do look really stiff. Especially during the fight scenes where you could tell it's awkwardly animated. Remember, this is a studio that would go on to animate Dragon Ball, by the way.
Oh, actually, speaking of the fight scene, there's literally One
What
of
a,
them, one of the people tries punching Dracula. They don't. No, I'm just pointing this because they can't even have them on the same thing. So he's just punching in the air, and then you see Dracula dodging fists coming out of nowhere. I don't think they were great at it yet.
well, the thing is
When
there is stuff that came before this that was pretty sure better animated. Lupin the Third, for example. But
yeah, but
who knows? Maybe
they actually
Discotheque will
gave a
give us a
shit.
Blu-ray of this. I hope.
That'd be
I,
hilarious. You would fucking buy me it for Christmas, wouldn't you?
I, you can't prove that.
I can prove it.
As far as the OST goes, I mean, it does fit the whole gothic mood it's going for. I don't have much complaints about the OST.
Yeah, the OST's pretty good.
It's fine. But for the reason you're all
There's a couple,
here, I'm sure the English dub, oh my god, it is glorious. Everyone is either overacting or underacting. Not a single line is like delivered perfectly. It is great though. This was at a time when the dubbing was still under that whole weird thing where they weren't quite sure what they wanted to do with it yet. So,
yeah, I think if it was normal, it'd be more boring.
I agree. I actually agree with that. So, the ADR and scriptwriter for this was Robert V. Barron, who worked on Robotech and the Gundam Recap film trilogy. So, who's that? He's also the narrator. What a dick. And you might ask, well, who do you end up voicing? Abraham Lincoln from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah, I was shocked to find that out too.
What?
And Admiral Donald Hayes from Robotech. But more importantly, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh god, that's
He also voices Tickle Me Tomo. So, yeah. But overall, I guess he did fine. He had typical 80s narrator voice, so I know what you want from me. And Tomo, Tickle Me Tomo over there, just had silly old man voice, going on about how he's the new master of vampires.
he had like 3 lines, and he
Yeah.
So,
But now we get to the main star himself, Dracula, voiced by Tom Weiner, Bison from the SF2 anime film, and the 2V animes dub, which we've covered both of those, actually. And Teddy Bomber from Cowboy Bebop. And he hams it the fuck up. Oh my god. Like the scene where he's telling Dolores, he's like, I was going to turn you, but something compelled me not to. What is this power? He just randomly shouts that on top of his lungs after saying a normal sentence. I don't understand.
I love him so much.
He also has a hardcore line where he's talking to his son Janus, calling him his heaven-bent offspring. How could he be sent here to kill me and end my existence? I gotta write down the exact quote later, but it was something that's like, you know, this quote deserves to be in a better film.
No, this is the perfect film.
But yeah, he's easily MVP of the dub. I should mention right now that, yeah, this is the starting roles for a lot of voice actors that you people probably know extremely well today. Some of their earliest work, in fact.
One of them, considering what's happening right now, yeah. Definitely him.
Well, after Dracula, we have Satan, voiced by Richard Epcar, who's rated from MK vs. DC through 11, and Yuhaba from Bleach. Which is relevant because he also voices God. Yes, he voiced both Satan and God in this film, and I don't even know what to make of that. What the fuck?
Well,
I mean, you can tell it's the same person. He's because it's the same voice for both of them. So, I mean, he has a. He put a. They gave him a filter for each one.
Um,
But yeah, Satan's mad. He got cucked. I still can't get over that. We watched a film where Satan literally got cucked by Dracula. But yeah, so what do you want me to say? Richard M. Hampton up too.
yeah.
After that though, we have Dolores, Dracula's waifu, voiced by Arlene Benas, who's let's see, ad voices and the OG Transformers series and the OG Bastard. And oh, she voiced a character named Dump. No, I'm not joking. In Megazone 23 Part 2. That is her only named role that I could find. And I think me and Nomi can agree she's probably the worst one here, honestly. She's the underacting one. You remember, Nomi, the conversation she has with Dracula where she's like, well, I don't care. I love you for who you are.
Listen. I think your non-existent 10-year-old daughter in theater arts for the first time could probably act better than her.
I mean, it could also be down to directing too. To be fair, I have no idea, but it's great.
I have a weird feeling it's a mixture of both. Since
she also voiced one of the kids Dracula protected at the end of the film, named Billy. And his lines are also pretty great. There's literally a moment where the zombies, vampire turkeys, are about to break in, and he just goes, "Oh, no." Yeah, it did remind me of No Wait from Nightcry. But yeah. After that, though, let's do the vampire hunting jackasses, where they really don't matter, and I'm not joking. Again, you could cut these assholes subplot out of the film, and nothing would really change aside from the last 10 minutes.
I mean, Drake matters.
Yeah, so Frank Drake, let's do him first. He's a descendant of Dracula's son or something like that, before Dracula was turned into a vampire.
So he doesn't have the curse. Apparently people hate him because
of his bloodline to Dracula, and it's like, it's been 500 years. That doesn't make sense. These people can really hold a grudge.
His name is, he's going by Frank Drake. How the fuck do you people know he? And we also, obviously, we never see an example of.
Yeah, it's exposited.
People knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he's voiced by Dan Warren. Yes, that Dan Warren. Byakuya from Bleach, or Caster from Fate Zero, or Igor from Persona 3 and 4. I mean, he sounds so damn young here, too. Holy shit. You could definitely tell this is one of his first roles in terms of vying. I mean, I love the line, though, when they offer him 100,000 grand to go hunting for vampires, and he just says, 100 grand? That's more than I make in a week!
Yeah. But then there's the line, like, right after that, he's like, how about a bonus? And then...
Yeah, and he looks over at the other vampire hunter, Rachel Von Helsing, and he says, why don't you throw her in as a bonus?
And then she shoots him, and then he's like, fine, forget the bonus.
They'll just take the money.
She literally shoots him with, like, 4 arrows.
Also, I'm pretty sure these two are supposed to be shipped with how the movie ends, but fuck if I know.
I mean, I guess it'd been like a year or something since they got to know each other, so...
Well, Rachel Von Helsing, meanwhile, is voiced by Melanie McQueen, who's Madam from Kiki's Delivery Service, and Marlene from the Robotech franchise. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Robotech overlap here, since they were dubbed close to each other.
Wonder why.
And, I mean, she does okay, I guess, but the problem is her and, Frank over there do dick all for the majority of the film.
Yeah, all she does is bitch about how she wants to kill Dracula because You killed my...
He killed her ancestor. Or daddy or some shit.
I mean, yeah, because...
Yeah, literally the only time you see them actually fight is in the scene at the church where after Dracula kills the Satanists, they come in. I cut that out of the plot synopsis because it's like it didn't really matter at the end of the day. Dracula's going to kill them anyways till Dolores said, "No, think of the human heart you have that you want to hold on to," before Dracula flew off screaming into the clouds like an idiot.
Quite literally was about to kill... I already forgot her name because that's how little she matters.
Rachel Von Helsing, man.
I've already forgotten that name. But no, Dracula has her. He's about to drink her blood. Dolores is like, you killed enough people. Just throws him into fucking Hans, who falls out of his wheelchair. And then later we find out he could walk anyway, that lying bastard.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Hans, unknown, and I do mean that. No place has him listed.
We know Japanese, French, Spanish. No clue about the English at all ever.
We even looked at the credits of the stupid film. His name isn't listed.
There are no actor credits. It's the producer. It's Toei, and it's Marvel. The actors can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, so I don't know who the hell he is, but he's got your typical angry older dude voice, and he's a crazy man in a wheelchair. In fact, to test out if Frank can handle himself, because he heard Frank is a martial artist, he whips out a sword cane when they first meet to attack him with.
Yeah.
And remember what I said in the thing, he ends up killing Dracula with a wheelchair bomb. I'm just wondering how he got that shit through customs when he went from America to Transylvania. Oh, well Guy just said off screen it's because he didn't shove it up his ass, so...
That does sound like something Di would say.
Anyway, yeah, here's the whole... Sorry to say you did do it, see? That voice is what it reminds me of, honestly. You're it too, right, Nobi?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, after him we have Janus! Or as we kept nicknaming him, Anus, throughout the movie, because they wouldn't stop shouting his damn name. Voiced by Max Christian, who's Toby from Unico and the Island of Magic, and Porthos from Dogtanian and the Three Muskehounds. Oh, come on, that one's not even clever.
I think you broke my brain. Seriously?
Oh, was that what broke your brain, or the fact that when I'm looking this up I found out there was a Don Quixote anime?
No, that part gave me new life.
Well, anyway, I guess he does okay. I don't know what you want me to say. He's also only there in the last, 10 minutes. Has a fight with Dracula where he shoots eye lasers at him and Dracula shoots a flame tornado. No, it's not really as cool as it sounds because it ends too quickly.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, "My purpose is done."
Well, no, remember the eye that's literally right after he gets resurrected from being a baby, and then Dracula runs away.
No, whatever. The last named character is Layla, who's the New York City vampire killer. I couldn't help but think of the Castlevania whip, because of course. Also, I just realized this fucking thing takes place in Boston. Just like Nocturne opened up with, no. But yeah, so Layla is voiced by Edie Merman, who's Angelamon from Digimon, and Fujiko Mine from Lupin the Third's first couple of seasons. Or at least a bunch of the films. No, you waifed Fujiko Mine, didn't you?
No.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
I think my this is probably the one scene that you could call closest to horror. Is the scene where a guy's hitting on her, and we don't know she's a vampire yet. And he's like, "Well, I should let you know I'm a dangerous man. I'm the New York vampire killer." It's like, "Stop it! You're scaring me." And then he goes to through foreplay or whatever, and then she says, "You really shouldn't joke about being the vampire killer because I'm the vampire killer."
Yeah. And that scene's only there so Dracula can visit her later to
Ask her to
become a
turn
vampire.
him, and then she says, "I'm not turning you." So then he goes back to Transylvania. Hence why I cut it out of the plot synopsis, because it's another character you could literally cut and nothing would change. If you cut all the pointless bullshit, this movie would be half the length.
But then we couldn't call it a movie anymore.
Well, whatever.
Checkmate.
You got me there.
It's okay though because we still had the
That's everyone.
in that part and
Yeah. Well, the last named one on the cast list is the other kids that Dracula saves. Billy's siblings is all they're listed as, and they're both voiced by Rebecca Forstadt, who's Rika from Higurashi, though 6 dub. Everyone knows Rika's best girl, even Nomi. Don't fact check that. I'm talking for you, Nomi. And Usami or Motomi from Danganronpa 2. And I mean, that's it. I just feel like listing her off because, again, show off that, yes, this is where a lot of these people got their start. And that's the main thing about this film. It's a curious piece of dub history.
yeah. Well, that plus it gave us one of the best image memes of all time.
It did. Dracula eating at a restaurant or a burger joint called Restaurant King, eating a hamburger while still in his full outfit. And of course, I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure we can have that as the thumbnail. Because I have to.
God, I hope so. I hope so. That's the only way to do it.
So, at the end of the day, what did we learn about this film? Well, Naomi, what did you learn?
I learned that I love Dracula. That was the only thing I learned.
I learned, what?
Also that you don't name your child Janus.
Janus! Damn it. I'm never going to forget that name now. Well, I learned that we were cucked out of getting Blade in this movie since he debuted in the Tomb of Dracula comics. Which, isn't that fucking hilarious? The one character from the comics that everyone is familiar with today is the one who doesn't make an appearance in its adaptation into an anime film. Maybe, I mean, you could argue that Blade got lucky, I guess. But I would have loved to have seen what they would have done with him in this thing. I guess, yeah, I probably would have done a tax evasion plotline with him or something.
Yeah, but it's okay. You know why?
Because the MVP of the dub is the dub itself. It's too hilarious, and I do mean that. Go watch it if you haven't yet, guys. You will not be disappointed.
Also, I bring this up because neither of us noticed it. Dolphin told me about it later. They fuck up on Janus's grave.
Oh, yes! Yeah, I saw it when I was looking at the comments. So before Janus is resurrected, Dolores is at his grave, and she's, crying or whatever. And it says, instead of rest in peace on it, it says rest in pee. How do you fuck that up?
I don't know. About probably the same way you fuck up the part where Mr. Drake's arm isn't attached to his body or whatever the fuck. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, people were saying apparently there's a scene where Frank is on a phone and the phone isn't held up to his ear. properly or some shit. I don't know. Those are animation errors though, so someone can let me know if
Yeah,
those are accurate or not. Those are just comments I saw online when looking up what people were
that's.
saying
I
about
mean,
this
yeah, you
film.
told me, and I didn't notice either of those. So I could. I don't know. I don't know. If you watch it and you notice it, maybe you could comment or something.
Either way, I'm glad we watched this. This is a movie I wanted to see at some point,
I am
and it
not
was.
disappointed.
I am not either, but yeah, I wonder why Toei doesn't adapt Marvel anime stuff anymore.
I mean, they did one other thing.
Yeah, they did Frankenstein, which maybe we'll cover that next year, Nomi. Because if it's half as hilariously bad as this.
I mean, we'll have. Apparently, we'll have one crossover guy.
Well, in any event, that's it for this one, I guess. Let us know what you all thought, and if you're a fan of the Tomb of Dracula comics, please let us know if this was entertaining at all as an adaptation. I'm really curious to know if at least even the fans of the comic got anything out of this. And remember, exposit your backstory to everyone you meet. Because as we've learned, the golden rule of writing is tell, don't show. That's what this movie has taught us.
Very important. I mean,
What?
does it count when Dracula's telling us about when he was Vlad, but it's actually showing a flashback? What does that count as?
That's probably the one of the few times it can be allowed. I'd imagine.
Fair enough.
Because he's at least narrating over shit. Also, I don't know if this is accurate or not, real quick. I saw people make comments saying that when they claimed Vlad was labeled a hero in his country for the Impaler stuff. Some people were saying that that's historically true, that Transylvania do revere him because he prevented their country from being conquered by doing that shit.
I have heard
From back in that era,
mentioned a couple times before, but I have no idea.
So when the movie
Yeah.
actually says that, it's apparently the one thing the movie might have gotten historically right. Someone again, let us know. But this got long enough. I would fuck this. Next time we're doing something great with vampires on Dubster Dive. Because yeah, something that's genuinely good, not so bad that it's amazing. So hope you all enjoyed us for that. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, guys. Have a good day, and all that. This movie drove me insane, and it's all Nomi's fault.
How dare you?
What is this power?